What's up, DDD family, and welcome back to another exciting episode. Once again, we're going to try to give you content that's informative and hopefully something, if you guys want to do on your car, you can get it done. So what we're going to do today, I'm going to bear with me on the camera angles too, because I don't know where all my other mounts are, so I can actually do my headband, POV. But we're going to do the best we can today. But what we're doing today is we're going to actually be doing Oracle RGB fog lights. They're going to be right here. Those fog lights. I got the materials that we're going to use tonight, so we got these drill bits so we can drill through the fog lights after we get them opened up. Once again, always remember to grab a Dremel. Use a Dremel to make sure we get them cut open and made it easy for the headlights. It's kind of like the same situation with the headlights, but like I said, they are Oracle brand. I'm going to use Gorilla 60-pound double-sided tape to stick the lights on the inside because the 3M doesn't really touch the sides, and it's good to add a little extra layer just for protection. And also we're going to use a black HTV sealant silicone RTV that we used on the headlights to seal them, just to make sure everything gets nicely sealed up. So like I said, we're not going to try to make this one as long as the headlight video because that one's actually long and drug out, and we're just going to do the best we can. Like I said, I've never done this before, and you're kind of learning with me, so we're going to go ahead and try to get these cut open. They probably won't go in for a day or so because I like to let the silicone sit for at least 24 hours just so that I make sure it's all sealed up good and I can check for any spots. And also remember to keep your specs on whenever you're cutting these things open because you don't want to get hit in the face with it. So let's go ahead and try to get these cut open. Like I said, it's kind of like the headlights we did, so it's kind of the same thing going on there. But let's go ahead and just get into it and we'll see how it goes. So the way we're going to go about cutting these open is kind of like I said, the headlights. We're going to cut along the edge of the lens. And I've watched a couple videos, and there's not very many, but the ones that I've seen, they just cut across the lens just like we did with the headlights. Just do as minimal as you can to get it open, and then we're just going to put a thick sealing around it to seal it up. You won't be able to see any of this, so it's not going to look pretty, once again, but it's all going to be hidden behind the bezels, and they really don't make any other kind of way to open them up, but that's how we're going to go about it. I didn't buy extra ones like I did with my tail lights. I bought extra tail lights. I didn't do it for fog lights because if I mess them up, they're kind of inexpensive, so it's not really hard to buy another set, but I don't feel like we're going to mess it up. We did the headlights and tail lights, so I feel pretty confident about this. So we're just going to go ahead and get into it. And I'm going to clean these up after we're done, get them open and everything. Definitely an important part. Like I said, we also have the aerosol can to clean it up after we're done, so keep one of those on hand. But enough talking, let's get into it. Alright, you guys. So I know what a few of you guys are thinking. After seeing a couple of these videos, you're like, man, this guy knows what he's doing. I can do that kind of stuff. I wouldn't dare try it. Let me stop you there because I have no idea what I'm doing. I just watch as many informative videos as I can, and then I try to do the same for you guys in my way, a little bit more simpler than maybe what they do it. I've never done fog lights, headlights, or tail lights before I did my own. I just watched, like I said, as many videos as I could, and I took it from there. But I've talked to many people who've seen my headlights and my fog lights or my tail lights, and they're just like, hey man, you send your stuff too? And I was like, I did it myself, dude. I used to always pay people to do my stuff, and now I figured out, hey, the worst you can do is mess it up. But you never know unless you try, so that's what I'm doing here. I'm trying. But, so we got them all both cut off. They're both cut off. And I use my hand to kind of like pull the little extra burrs on the side off. I'm gonna go over it with the Dremel again with the little sanding tip, but I went ahead and plucked off as much as I can by hand because you really don't want to scratch this up too much, and like you see, it's a little glazing right there. You don't really want to have all that, so I went ahead and pulled off as much as I can by hand. I'm gonna go over the edges on the glass or plastic, and then the edges on this to try to smooth them out as best I can. Remember also wear the safety goggles. I did through the whole time of cutting. But we're gonna go ahead and deburr these edges and then get to the fun part of drilling. So you're gonna have to drill a hole. Some people are confident enough to cut this and reattach it. I'm definitely not. So you're gonna have to drill a hole big enough to fit that connector through, and of course the wire will follow. But when I watched the video, the dude kind of drilled one close to the edge and it slid through and everything went fine. We're gonna drill it after, so this is the bottom piece on both sides, so we're gonna go ahead and just drill it kind of like right underneath here, and then when it comes through, it's gonna just tuck the wire underneath because the wire is right there on the end of that. So we're just gonna go ahead and do that, and it's actually gonna sit like a little inside. After we get it all done, it's gonna be a little bit inside, and that's when we're gonna put the extra double-sided tape, because the 3M doesn't completely touch. You want to put a little extra layer in so it doesn't move or anything. So let's go ahead and get these deburred, and then we're gonna work on drilling them. I gotta figure out exactly what size. I think we're gonna use the metal drill bit. I feel like I've seen a dude use this in a video. I'm gonna use this one right here. Probably gonna go roughly about halfway up is we're gonna need it. But I saw a dude in the last video do it that I watched, so it worked out for him, so hopefully it works out for us. But definitely do not be afraid to try this on your own if you're somewhat inclined with just being creative and trying to figure stuff out, and if you have the finances to fix it if you don't get it right the first time, definitely give it a shot, man, because you can save yourself a lot of money, and you could possibly do it for friends and make a little bit of money. So it's all up to you on if you want to try it. But like I said, I've never done any of this stuff before, and I just took a chance and it worked out for me, so I'm going to keep doing it until I can't do it anymore, I guess. But we're going to go and get these bird out, and then we're going to drill it out and see if we can get them all mocked up. Well, we're going to go ahead and move into the drilling process of the whole thing. Like I said, you just, with this, you kind of want to just eyeball it. The center one's going to be the best bet for it. But you want to kind of like take it here and just mock up what you think it'll work. And I'm pretty sure about halfway up is where we need to go to make sure it actually works out. But I'm gonna go ahead and get the drill. Get the drill ready for it. Like I said, you can always like put a hole and then like stop, check it, and go that way. You want to make the smallest hole you can, but you still want to make sure it's big enough that it slide through easily without pinching it. And then the way we're going to seal it up is, like I said, with the black RTV, basically how we're going to seal the lens back on, and how we did the headlights with the wires coming out of the housing. You want to seal that back up and make sure it's really nice. So when I do that, I make sure I put a pretty big thick seal on it, and then I let it dry, and then I check it to see if there's any holes and move the wires around, and then add a little bit more just for extra precaution. You can also get this clear if you want to do it after you do the black one. You can also add this clear one over it, just so you can have double protection. But like I said, the black one's pretty thick. Definitely wear gloves if you have them, because this stuff will stick in your hand and it will just like totally tint your hand black the whole time. So, and it takes a couple days for it to come off. I've scrubbed hard, and yeah, it's a pain in the butt to get off. So definitely, if you take the time to get gloves, definitely get them. Me, I'm hard-headed. I don't always remember to grab gloves, so I just have to deal with scraping the stuff off, and it's pretty tough. But we're going to go ahead and get these drilled. Like I said, we're going to try to go about halfway down and then check it and then go from there. So we're going to try to get a decent measurement. So, like I said, we're going to start at a little bottom right here, just in a little bend. And I think that'll be a good spot to drop it in, because so we got the hole right there. Right there. And it's looking pretty good. Let's see how it fits in there. Pretty sure it's going to fit now because it was really close the last time. So, go ahead and boop. Got that in there. And we're going to clean this up. I just want to mock it up for you guys. So we're going to slide it through. Sit that in there. Twist it around. And boom, bam. Look at that fitment. Oh, so nice, so nice. And like when you look at it like this, you can't even see the hole back there. You can't see it, the little dip down there. But like I said, it's not gonna really be that noticeable. So you're just gonna go ahead and Get that all nice and mocked up in there. You see it sits right below it, so whenever you put the lens on it, it still covers it pretty good. And that looks pretty freaking awesome. That is awesome. I like how it sits in there nice and comfortably. Like I said, it sucks having to put that big hole in it, but I'm not confident enough to just like totally cut the wires and then reattach them. Or you can just use like a different kind of drill bit and kind of just stretch the hole out a little bit smaller. But I seen a dude in the video use this, so that's what I did, and I'm gonna roll with it. I'm pretty happy with how that fits. We're gonna go ahead and get the other one drilled up and cleaned up, and then we're gonna go to the next step. Alright, guys, so I went and got some alcohol, and I'm just gonna use this beach towel, yeah, it's sitting around, to clean the lenses and the inside little foil looking stuff. Get it. So, you're gonna take this wire and we're gonna feed it through our handy dandy hole right there. Usually I'll take the time to pre-cut my strips on my 3M, but I didn't this time. And it's kind of a hassle to really cut. It's really thick, so it can be a pain at times. But to make sure you secure it, I don't know, this 3M tape on here is pretty thick, so we might actually keep that on there and just add this to it. But actually, let me use my little fancy knife here. I think sharp. It's like a double hook knife. Double hook knife. Yeah. We're gonna slice a couple strips of this stuff, just so you can get enough around the edges so to stay. And you don't really want it too thick that you can see it in broad daylight. So you just want to do like really thin strips. And it is going to be a pain in the butt to get the backing off the double-sided tape. But that's why we keep our handy dandy decal weeding tool close by, so you can just scoop it up. And like I said, normally I don't keep the 3M tape on, but this one's actually kind of thick and it might hold. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the Gorilla tape to the outside edge of this where it doesn't really touch. I'm just going to put a little bit on the outside edge, so like whenever I lay this down, it kind of hits the side wall of the actual lens. So honestly, it looks like you only really need like 2 thin strips, which I have here. Kind of, there's not that thick, really thin. And just put them on the edges so that when it actually lays in there, it actually touches the side wall. Because the way they have it set up, it doesn't really, it touches it a little bit, but it doesn't touch it as much as I would like. So we're gonna pull the backing off of this, which I figured is gonna be a pain in the butt, because it always is. But it's a pain in the butt that's worth it. Because when this stuff goes on, boy, and it's hard to get off. So that's why whenever you're completely set on where you want it, you give it a nice firm press, and it's kind of like a convection oven or a rotisserie oven thing. You kind of set it and forget it. Alright, so I got the backing off. You can get your wire all lined up for its hole. It pretty much slides into place. And you just give it a nice firm press. Nice foam all the way around. It's gonna move a little bit. You just gotta work it in there a little bit. Nice firm press. Make sure it's all touching good. I'm pretty happy with that. It looks like it's sitting in there pretty even and decent. Kind of give it a little visual. Some parts look a little high. You just keep holding it down. But overall, that's your look you're going for. It looks pretty good. But yeah, so that one side looks like it's popping up a little bit. You just want to hold it down a little bit. That's kind of where the Gorilla Glue is, or the Gorilla Tape. But you just press it down a little bit, and then it'll go down. And then when the lens goes over it, it's gonna be sitting right above it. So it's gonna look pretty awesome. I like that. That looks pretty cool. Just gonna add to the rest of the LEDs on the car, and it's gonna be something unique. Like I said, other people have it. I've seen it on other people's cars, but I haven't seen them in my area, so that's why I'm trying to be different and stand out. Like my car doesn't stand out enough. I want to keep doing stuff differently and try to inspire other people to try to do things different. So we got this one all marked up. Let's go ahead and get the other one the same way. And if we're happy with it, we're just going to keep it that way, which I am. Find your happy place right here, where you feel like it sits the best for your liking. Put a thick bead on the edge. And work your way around. This stuff seems to work magic with sealing up these headlights and tail lights. Kind of like a gasket maker, I guess you would say. But like I said, my way is not the most cleanest way, I guess you would say. But once again, I'm a man of action, and I wanted to get this done. So I'm making a sacrifice of having tar covered hands to get this job done. Like I said, if you just kind of like get it done quick and then you go try to wash it off, most of it will come off as long as you don't let it sit too long. But it will definitely leave a stain on your hand for the next couple days, unless you just get in there and just go ham with like a scouring pad on your hand, trying to scrub your hand like a burnt crock pot or something. But yeah, got a nice thick bead on that. It's all pushed down. Gonna wipe a little excess off my hand right now. Like I said, this silicone is really thick whenever it dries up, so it's gonna put a nice seal on it for you. Like I said, you can just wipe that off like that. It comes right off. I don't even have anything on this thing, no water, no nothing. Just wipe right off the lens so your lens isn't covered in this black stuff. But even if it is, it will wipe away. Show no fear. It will go away. But yeah, if you're nervous about that, definitely just give it a little wipey wipe and it'll go away. That's the one good thing about that though. It just wipes away. So I'm going to wipe these edges off. Wipe the lens off. Make sure it's nice and clear. Like I said, it's not going to look pretty right now. It will not. I've yet to see somebody make one just look so marvelous that they've done themselves. But when the bezel covers the edges, you won't even, it won't look that bad at all. So I'm pretty happy with how that sits. Wiped off the lens. It's nice and clean, or clean enough for now. We're gonna let that sit, get thick, so we won't have to worry about trying to hold it that tight. And then we'll go ahead and get another layer on for assurance. Yeah, that's already started laying on there pretty good. I don't even gotta hold the lid on. It ain't even sliding that much no more. This one, I'm gonna go clean this one up as well. That one slides a little bit. Oop. Oh, I like this shirt. Oh yeah, definitely don't do this in clothes you enjoy keeping unstained, because yeah, it will definitely leave a mark. But we're in the business of getting dirty here. It's a dirty job and it needs to be done, so here we are getting it done. So we're gonna let these both sit for a little bit, and we're gonna come back in a couple hours whenever they're dried up, and we'll go from there. Alright, you guys, so now it's actually a few days later. I didn't realize earlier on in ordering the package that it didn't come with an actual RGB Bluetooth controller, so I had to go ahead and order that and had to wait for it to come in. But it's now like a week later and I got all the fog lights put in. They came out pretty good. The only thing that I would change differently is the way I drilled the holes. They're a little bit big, so you can kind of see them if you look close. I'll show you guys. But after the lights on, you can't really tell. I'll go ahead and turn the lights on. Like I said, they're Bluetooth control, so let me go ahead and get the app going. So with these lights from Oracle, they come with a bunch of different modes. They can go solid colors, and they go really well with the headlights that I have in. Even though the headlights are diode dynamics, I can still run pretty much the same colors. But I also got the rainbow sequence mode. And pulling these things out ain't that hard. You don't even have to take the wheels off, but there's a bunch of videos on here to show you guys how to do that. But I'm gonna show you guys some night shots as well, and then we can wrap up this video. Alright, you guys, so I just kind of want to show you how the front of the car looks with all the lights that I have. Once again, like I said, I did the red eyes, I did the diode dynamic RGB boards, and I have the scanner bar. I just want to show you what they all look like together. I think that's pretty sick looking. Like I said, I don't see really many people with it out here, so that's gonna be it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it helps some of you guys. If you want to do this in the future, definitely check them out. Definitely go to Oracle and grab those, because they're pretty cool. And I hope you guys, like I said, enjoy this video and check me out on my next one. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Shebang bang.